Okay, we've moved to a seated position to cover a few things. I've also got some blocks next to me. At the beginning, I want to point out a few things. If I have a client who's 4'11" or under, sometimes to have something like this, and this isn't the only use for them, to have something like this is fine. This makes all the difference in the world because although it doesn't happen to me, some people are up in the chair and their toes are not touching the ground, and in order for them to touch the ground, they're actually having to point their toes and sometimes still not making a connection with the floor. So the blocks, I mean, someone were shorter than 4'6", again, we're probably talking about putting the blocks in a different position. So we want to make sure that we work with everybody, and I don't believe in discriminating against anyone. So if anybody is any size or any physical condition, the object is to work with them. And that's the big challenge, because although you may be able to do all kinds of things, you will have some students who can't do a lot of physical, anything that strains them physically is not doable. Some people are wheelchair bound. So this applies toward office yoga, applies toward chair yoga as well. Some people are going to be handicapped. Some people are in wheelchairs. Some people work in offices that are handicapped. So there's no fixed set of rules, so to speak. You don't have everybody in the workforce is going to be walking around on two legs. You don't have every senior is going to be limited in range of motion. So there's a lot of exceptions. Not everybody who does chair yoga is over 60. So what we're going to do is we're going to take some things right here from the warm-up and we'll go around. Some of you know these. You most commonly see these in Kundalini yoga, called pelvic circles, and some people call them trunk circles. This is a good one for massaging the internal organs, good for the low back, for swishing synovial fluid around. And if a person, some people, the longer they sit, the worse their hips feel. Like one hip will do something very funny to them where they, and will reverse, where what happens is they get up out of the chair and they are struggling to step forward for a few steps because the hip does a sort of dysplasia. So you have to be mindful of all these things. If somebody's got something like that, they can come right up and start moving even the sit bones around, lifting off the sit bones,